Jonathan DuBois.
And Lee.
Dino,
yes. They were in...
Lino D.
Remember Candy Harlots?
Oh, yeah, they used to play with the Screaming Tribesmen.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so we did a show there, as Salinas with them. Right. But, yeah, that was pretty...
I did a gig with them, Candy Harlots.
Really?
At Springfields.
Oh, Springfield.
Yeah. everyone goes,
I know, Springfield.
Yeah, everyone does.
Yeah, I used to manage the Screaming Tribesmen during that era.
Okay.
We used to, book Candy Harlots on a lot of our shows.
That was what I would consider the sort of the end of that.
Then it was the Cardoma Cafe.
Oh, yeah, but I mean the end of driving to venues, getting a bit drunk, like,
late night.
Everything kind of stopped around then,
The late night sort of 12:30 start.
Yeah, where big crowds would show up to see
for sure.
Rose Tattoo and, the Angels and stuff, like massive crowds.
Yeah.
Round about the 97, 5
sure.
era.
Yeah, that's right. That's when the poker machine started coming in.
Yeah.
And I started losing a lot of bands up here. Bands, started breaking up, actually, I think. Right. Around about that time was the first time the Hoodoo Gurus broke up, and then Hunters and Collectors broke up. Yep. And then, my main revenue was gone. Right. And, so that venues started sort of, taking a bit of a hit. Poker machines started coming in.
I was at Sanctuary Cove, Sanctuary Cove.
Yeah.
On the weekend, actually hating it. I was like, there's too many rich weirdos in this place. Like, next, and good on them, but next level.
Frank Sinatra opened that up.
Yes.
Just like we opened up with the Frank song. Is that a Frank Sinatra song? No, it wasn't.
Oh.
What was it?
I Can't Help Falling in Love.
Falling in love with you.
They took the pokies out.
Elvis.
Oh, they took
There was a tavern in the centre of that place. And they took all the pokies away. Now it's just restaurants and little bars.
Good.
So that's
bring back the live music.
Eh?
Bring the live music venues. Original music up here in the Gold Coast, Brisbane. Yep. It's happening in Brisbane, which is good.
Yep.
The Beetle Bar just closed down, licensing problems.
Saw that.
Yeah, that sucks. So they had to find a new venue for Punk Fest.
Right.
That's where we'll be playing. We'll be doing a show for Punk Fest when we tour next summer.
Brilliant.
Hitman.
Brilliant. What sort of you play guitar?
I can. Yeah, I can play guitar, but no, it's just I just sing.
Yeah.
I hold my microphone.
Just sing.
Yeah. What's your mic?
You're a full entertainer, though. So.
Yeah. I guess I am.
You take your own mic, of
I'm
course.
shameless. I'm an attention seeker. I'll give you that.
Tell me about your setup. What's your routine to get to a gig? Everyone's got their own deal. Like
I sleep.
You got your own stand. Have you got your own mic?
I sleep as much as I can just before I have to leave for the gig, and I get to the gig 1 hour before we're on. Sometimes, if I get within the half hour, the crews start worrying. But I like to get as much rest as possible. And when I get there, I get stuck right into the vodka. I'm not an alcoholic, am I?
No,
I'm not.
Well, Drew's cracking open a beer for you.
Well, that's exactly what an alcoholic would say.
Do you do vocal warm-ups? No, me either.
But nothing at all. What about on a weird night when you're like feeling a bit unrehearsed or something? Do you do any sort of warm-up?
No warm-up at all.
Right.
No.
The vodka warm-up.
I do the vodka gargle and the vodka warm-up, and I get people to hit me in the face, smash me across the face with their open hand, just to wake me up. Yeah, just get me going, get my blood going. Some shenanigans here and there before a gig. Oh, yeah. That's good. We usually have an amp backstage, and we're all singing along to Doors songs, or
the players. Speaking of the playroom, I don't want to tell anyone this, but we thinking of traditions and weird band members and all sorts of things. We honestly, there's a dead set true story. I was in a band called, before Bull Rush, the same members, but we were called the Class Dismissed. We were only 18, 19-year-old kids. But our drummer was 26. He'd been in jail. He was just this guy we feared. And for a few years, with Shaw management, we toured the East Coast, but it was just a cheeseball sort of time, I'll be honest. But this one time that the band pretty much split up over this. He wouldn't let anyone flush the toilet. If he did a poo in the toilet, that was his rock and roll signature. And this is a grown 26-year-old man with a beard, and we were pretty much just 18, 19 going, oh,
Shit.
And then we just couldn't handle it anymore. Couldn't handle it. We got this little motel. I remember it like it's today.
Wow.
The Palm Beach Motel in Palm Beach, just up the road from the playroom. And he pretty much tore the place apart because someone flushed the toilet.
Oh.
But we were playing at the playroom.
You're lucky he's not in the band.
I know.
Lucky he left the band.
Oh, mate.
The playroom. That would have been the upstairs. Go up the stairs, you turn left, the toilet right across the room.
Yes.
He used to walk across the room.
Well, no, he didn't do it there. He did it in the motel. But we
in the
played
motel.
that night it was a big.
Now, why didn't he like anyone flushing the toilet?
And I'm not kidding. It was his rock and roll signature.
He
He
had to
believed it to be part of his thing.
To leave a dump?
No, that's what his warm up was, having a shit and
So with
leaving
all
it there. No, I'm not weird like that.
Have you seen any weirdness though?
Before the gig, no, just I don't like talking about sort of stuff that people sort of put in their mouths or up their nose. But there's a lot of that was going on. Not with our band, but but with on the road. There's a lot of stuff going on the road. There's a lot of drinking after the gigs. I mean, we toured with Cold Chisel for their Set Fire to the Town tour in the early 80s, would have been maybe 79. And that was fantastic, like Jimmy used to have what do you call it? It's normal bottle of scotch, and then there's the big one. What do you call that? It's called a Magnum, like a Magnum of scotch.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So there used to be a Magnum of scotch after the gigs, and we'd go back to the hotel room and party on with everybody that wanted to come along, and it was just really good times, like working 6 nights a week, doing doubles, doing triples, used to.
And crew.
And road crew used to set it all up for you, and they'd be getting out of the venue at 5 o'clock in the morning, and, you'd be getting home at 5 o'clock in the morning or just sort of like ready to go to bed yourself. But, they were big days. Big days, and I don't know how they lasted. There was a lot of bad accidents back then. I remember Swanee's road crew was a Cold Chisel's road crew, had a pretty bad car accident and lost some members. But they were like, they had to do a proper setup, they had to be at a gig by a specific time. They had to do, they were not forced, but there was, periods where they play early at one show and then double up to another show, and do overnighters to a show out of town. I remember booking a Sunday St George Budapest Mortdale soccer club show on a Sunday and a Tuesday in Townsville. Wow. Yeah, so my road crew had to travel all that way. And that was what happened back then. It was part of being on the road. Yep. Rock and roll. Roadies loved it. You talk to one of our crew members now, they say some of the best times of my life doing shit like that, And they all looked after you. They made sure everything was right. And, I haven't said hello.
Cal Miller, you're in the corner.
You!
From Celts.
Hey.
Celts Entertainment. What a champion. I've said this before when Cal's in the room, that I remember those days. I was 18 and Screaming Jets, Angels, all those sort of gigs, Baby Animals. You knew guys that were roadies. They were.
I still do know
but
road crew for those bands.
Exactly, but that was their job. Actually, there was a string of people making a lot of money.
Yeah.
And making livings, and you wouldn't see much of that now, Sean. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, not really. I mean, even
like guys with huge houses and this and that.
With, even just probably the first kind of thing that comes to mind, road crew and people that we know are all still for those eras of bands. Like, would it be Falcon and things like that? I mean, you and Rexy from the Miss Maid and her husband Orkin from Iron Lion were all at the One for the Road for Mick Skelton and Shane that were in the accident, and Shane was a road crew guy for all of those bands as well. But again, it's that same era. Gone are the days, which is really, really sad, and that's obviously why we're talking about them now. But
blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah, but those double 4-weight cabinets, you had to have 4 guys on them, so you had to hire.
And some of those clubs in Sydney, you'd have to go Parramatta Leagues Club. I remember, the Cultures of Road Crew would ask me if I wanted to load out for them after we supported them, and I said, how much? And they said $30. So it took me like 2-3 hours to help them load out.
It's frightening work. But
Very first time I learned to roll a lead, you know, was
I think
by
say roll something.
Jerry George. Roll a lead and smoke it. Jerry Georgitis was the culture's. He's no longer with us. May he rest in peace. But you know, I learned a lot from those professional road crews.
Yeah, and I couldn't tell you one guy I know right now. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, where there was so much alcohol being sold, you know, it was very easy to drink and drive in your car, so everyone was sort of taking four people in their car to venues to see the bands. It wasn't even that long ago, you know, where it was the culture of, this band's in town, yeah! You didn't see them on Twitter and all this crap.
No, well, there was
you
no
could
social
only
media.
see them in the flesh, so everyone went.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to bring it down into that negative conversation, but I just want to, you know, the road crew guy with the bandana hanging out of his pocket, too many keys.
They probably got laid more than the musicians, I'd say.
Yeah, jeez.
Or they organised the lays for the
They'd
musicians.
organise it, and
Tell you
then
what.
they'd get all the leftovers.
Carl, there's a good podcast. We need to find a good road crew bloke that's been around.
Oh,
Hey, yeah, leave it to him. He says.
You know, the admission price to go see a band at that level, like Cultures or the Angels, was only about $6 or $8 or 10, maybe maximum $10 back then.
Yep.
And they used to fill it up. So let's work it out: $1,000, 1,000 people, $10. It's $10,000. They do 6 nights a week. That's $60,000. And road crew weren't paid that much. You know, probably $60 to $80 a gig. And they were expected to load in and load out. But now you try and book a roadie to just walk in and do stage for you, or walk in and do sound for you, they're going to ask for $200. But
Minimum three.
I don't load in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then you got to find people. Well, there's a lot more house venues now where you don't have to worry about. We used to have a 4-ton truck on the road permanently. You know, $1,800 a week came with 2 crew with a light show. Yeah. That's what it cost us back then. Now it costs you that for one night now almost. So you know, it's all relevant, isn't it? I mean, bands are probably making just the same amount of money, but bands are finding it difficult putting together a show and making any money themselves because it's so expensive to pay for a crew, to pay for, you know, advertising, posters, rehearsals, you know, the whole thing. You know what it's like. Yeah. You know, so you know, what do? You just work yourself hard on social media, and that's the only way to sort of get anywhere, really.
I heard, again, see, I feel like we're taking the conversation down, but is it All About the Bass? What's that song? No.
All About the Bass.
That kind of song. I think it was All About the Bass. You know, bass, about the bass, no trouble. Megan, someone?
Addicted to bass?
Something like that, right?
I'm addicted to
But it
bass.
had been played 175 million times on Spotify.
Oh, wow.
And got
And
$5,000.
the guy that wrote it, $5,689
Wow.
is all he'd been paid.
That's streaming. You know, that sucks. You know, it brings me to
That's sad.
And I think I found a loophole, but I just recorded it's been 3 years in the making, just released a single with Jimmy Barnes. He sang with the Johnny Kannis Explosion for our Edge of Reality and Ring of Fire single. And, like, cheers.
Thank you.
I think I might need another one.
Yeah, we got more.
How come I got into that?
Spotify.
Spotify, yeah. And I got a link sent to me from the record company to put on my Facebook page, and if you click on that link from your phone, freaking hell, it diverts you straight to My Music through Apple, and they try to set you up through their streaming channel.
Yeah, Apple Music.
Apple Music. And people are just saying, how do I get it? It says not available. So they try to make you sign up to Apple Music for $10 because that's where they're heading.
By default, it goes
it goes straight to that. And I said to people, look, just go to iTunes, search for Johnny Kannis, and you'll find it if it's from your phone. Otherwise, click on this link from your computer. It's only for iPhone users.
Yeah.
So, you know, that sucks.
It does.
You know, that happens because they make more money than what the artist does.
Yeah.
You know?
It
Absolutely.
really does. And I noticed that because you could search out your music and it would go to that. It by default, goes straight to Apple Music now. and
Yeah.
you always have to click to the
There's
side.
an email
and
waiting for me at home from the record company. They found a way to get around that.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to use it and do it because everyone's complaining about it.
Yep.
You know, everyone's really got the shits about it. And
It's just
I mean,
not-
they get